Now they're on their 4-3 fit.
So what's going to happen here in two hearts? Using two diamond trick, club trick 3, one heart 4 and a spade. But it's not easy, 4 spades in dummy. So we see a lot of work to do.
Absolutely, yeah. What they shouldn't really do, I mean, they can take a diamond rough, but that would be with a natural trump trick when South roughed the third diamond. So that's probably not so good. Maybe it's better to play spades or even clubs.
Or even trump. It's a lead. I think it would be very good.
Yes, trump lead is very good actually. But the auction isn't over. North hasn't passed yet.
The only thing he can do is double now. So the takeout.
If he does, South will leave it in. The thing is, we don't know what West has shown, and that's so annoying, you know, when we don't have the convention card.
Yes, I agree, absolutely. I had to see other rounds. You never are sure what they really bid. But we have to deal with this. We can't change it. Of course, North knows nothing about Southend. He can have even, don't know, 2 points, 3 points.
Yes. Now, if North bids two diamonds, sorry, two spades now, then surely West hasn't shown the majors. So, what can we deduce? Nothing. He passes. Very much an auction that calls for a trump lead, isn't it? I mean.
Yes, I think so. Trump lead would be best because you don't want to rough. Or even club lead is also okay. Well, he's listening.
Herd agrees with us, Gerhard. So someone must be right. At least 1, 2, or 3. So Hansen doing the best he can here, actually, under the circumstances. Win in hand, unblock the king of spades, cross to dummy with a club, and rough a spade. And that will probably give him 7 tricks.
Should be 7 tricks, should be 1 down. Partner, I don't want a rough. Play spade. But it's the same.
Yeah, I think so. He will cast the jack of spades.
So I think they changed the kind of models here when they moved the Cavendish to Europe, because as I was playing, it was always played in 3 boards, and you play every pair, and there was never a qualifying and a final. So that must have changed now in Monte Carlo. Do you know something about this?
No, nothing. But yes, things have changed, and we don't have a strong a feel as we had when we had it in Las Vegas, with all the top American pairs there also.
Yes, it's a pity the American not coming over here to play this.
Yeah, but it is very expensive in Monaco, particularly. It is extremely expensive. You know that, Gerhard. It's so expensive. Yeah.
And it almost looks like a French championship.
I heard yesterday that one cup of coffee, I think it was espresso, yesterday cost €8. €8 for 1 cup of espresso. My God.
If you go to the Jimmy's, every drink is about 60 or 70 euro. With a discotheque there, it's unbelievable.
But Roland, also in Monte Carlo, you can find cheaper hotels. I know that. I have stayed there several times, and of course I don't take a room on the most fancy hotels or the casino.
No, I know. But you know what I mean, Peter. I mean, it's expensive in Copenhagen, it's expensive in London and Berlin and stuff, but it's much more expensive in Monte Carlo. Everything is.
For me, it looks a little bit that the Americans are maybe a little bit disappointed that the traditional Cavendish tournament, which was founded in New York, now is in Europe, and they might be a little bit disappointed about this. What do you think?
Well, the idea was that they were going to alternate, wasn't it? 1 year in Vegas and 1 year in Monte Carlo, right? They would just alternate. But then all of a sudden, Vegas wasn't interested anymore, and now we have it in Monaco every year.
In 2014, the tournament was offered to Vegas, but no one was interested in organizing it in Vegas.
Yes, I mean, for the casino players, the bridge players are not so interested, because mostly they are not gamblers, and so of course I can understand they're not really looking for this, and they cannot pay a lot, the organization.
In my opinion, one of the problems is that in Vegas, a lot of the American professionals were playing with clients. And for a client, it's much cheaper to go to Vegas than to go to Europe. That's the big difference between the pair combinations. European pairs, very often, most of the time, it's two strong players playing together. But in USA, you very often see a client and a professional playing together.
Oh, I don't agree with this, because the sponsors who played in the Cavendish in America, they were first of all very good players, and second, very rich. They can also afford to go to Europe, because they also can afford to pay 20,000 for a weekend for the players. So I think that's another reason, for my opinion.
They just don't want to travel that far. I think that's basic, isn't it? It's too far away for Americans.
But don't you agree that the structure of the pairs are different in Europe and USA? The European pairs who played in Cavendish in Vegas, that was two top players as a pair, where a third of the field was American prof and his client.
Anyway, back to this. This is Michel Bessis, the father, playing with Philippe Cronier against Zimmermann and Multon.
By the way, we really have to admit that Zimmermann is doing a lot for the bridge in Europe. Huh?
Oh, absolutely, yes. One of the great sponsors, no doubt about it. He and Mrs. Lavazza are the great sponsors in Europe, and to some extent Angelini as well.
Okay, on a spade lead, you take the ace of spade, ace queen of diamond, discard a spade, and run the 10 of clubs. Then you will lose 2 club tricks and a heart. You like my plan?
Like always, Peter. Perfectly analyzed.
Don't say that, Gerhard. If you see the list of my mistakes, then it would reach from the top of my Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I have a slightly different plan, which would also lead to success. I could duck the lead, and then I could take the club pitch instead on the ace of spades. But Peter's is normal.
You could also take the heart finesse now.
But he can afford to go up with the king of clubs because his clubs are so good that he can play them from hand later. So he can afford to win with the king of clubs and play another club
And now he forced North-South to play hearts for him.
No, but now he's down. He had
Yes,
to play
they
ace
can
of
defeat
hearts
him
hard.
now.
Yeah, just take and play hard.
We can't trust the operator. At least not all the time. He probably played ace of hearts heart, don't you think?
Yes, because he can afford to lose two club tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he let the 10 run. Okay.
Even better.
If this is how it went, he's making an overtrick. I don't believe this, really. Norse must have played his ace at some point. But never mind. Overtricks don't really matter here. This is cross imps indeed, yes. So not match points at all. Cross imps. Imps across the field, if you like.
Where you can win and lose a lot of points in one round. It can bring you 5, 6, 7 places up or down.
Yes, do you remember earlier today, Peter? One pair winning more than 500 imps in 2 boards, and the other pair losing, of course. Was it the
That
young
was
Dutch
the young Dutch pair.
pair? Yes.
Believe it or not, when I was playing the last time in 2000, we were leading until the last 4 rounds with a really comfortable lead. And we managed in the last 4 rounds and then we ended, and I made 3 terrible mistakes, and we ended 11th. First place was not paid.
Who was your poor partner?
He really, I felt very poor for him. André Knapp, don't know you know him. He's a Polish, very good player, but he lives in Spain since 20 years, I think, plays for the national team in Spain. He's an unbelievably good player.
Oh, I know.
I think many players would open 1 or trump with the East 10.
Yeah, but they can't, because they play a mini no trump in first seed, non-vulnerable, Gerhard. He was too strong. They played 10-12, I believe.
Let's see what Zimmerman will do now. 3-0 or 4 spades. I don't think it matters. Whatever he bids, his partner will bid 4 spades.
Yes, indeed, they're playing 10-13 no trump. I didn't know it.
Yes, they do. Because this is a typical hand where you would upgrade if you played a strong no trump. You would upgrade to 15, wouldn't you? A very good 5-card suit and lots of tens. All 4 tens. And a 9 and an 8. So many will open a strong note trump. And
I'm sure if you put the 10 to the calculator, you will get 15 plus something.
Oh yes, absolutely more than 15, maybe closer to 16.
I don't agree with the 3-0. Let's see if Zimmerman now can make 3-0. He has 5 club tricks. Oh, on a hard lead. It's easy.
But it's also easy on you mean on a diamond lead?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the diamond lead, he has to decide who has the S of heart. If the S of heart is in south, then he can just enter dummy and play heart to 10 and still have a diamond stop.
Yes, but you have the same hard guess in 4 spades, don't you, Peter? When you have 2 spade losers and a certain heart loser, you have to guess where the ace is and where the queen is.
Yeah, I think he needs a queen to be right.
No, he don't. Diamond leads to yes. Twice spade. And then 4 times club, discarding a heart. Now he has a pure guess.
Yes.
The third club we get already rough, huh? How many clubs?
No, North have 3 clubs if you look at the diagram.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's on a guess in 4 spades. I think the normal contract around the room will be 4 spades. After a strong no trump by East, and then West will transfer eventually, and East will become declarer in 4 spades. That's my guess. But we can look it up soon.
Yes, but 1 knows 3 diamonds. Then you have no transfer left, Roland.
Oh, if you play the American style, you can still transfer. You can even transfer at the 3 level. Crisscross if you want to. Or you could just jump to 4 hearts as if there was no overcall, Peter, if you played the Texas convention. Okay, 1 over trick, which is a good result, because some may go down in 4 spades. We shall see. Maybe he got one trick too many here. Did North really discard a spade? Maybe he did. But that doesn't matter. 400 or 430 doesn't matter. But 400, 430 and minus 50, that will make the difference if some pairs are in four spades going down.
I'm wondering that the Hackett brothers are not playing in this field. They were playing in the team event, but not in a pair.
No, that's right. Maybe they had other commitments, Gerhard. Professional players often has, you know. Maybe they're committed to playing with clients elsewhere, maybe at home in England. Who knows? I don't know.
But they were here and the team event with some clients. I mean,
yes,
if they play together.
Yes, they were on the team with Father Paul and David Mossop. That's right. And Paul is also not here anymore. So maybe it's a family thing. Who knows?
I'm not wondering about Paul because Paul is only playing with sponsors.
Yes, I know that, but he's not playing with Mossop in the pairs. He's not playing at all. So it could be, now that we have no Hackett in this event, that they had to go back for family reasons. You see?
Yes, could be.
"28 tables in play and one buy per round. A little strange that they have 57 pairs, an odd number of pairs, rather than an even number. Couldn't they just have invited a local pair as number 58?
So the auction pool is around 500,000 euros, is right?
Yes, 532,000, which is about half of what it generated last year. Then again, last year they had 76 pairs. And that made a difference, of course.
What you need some buyers. It's the most important thing when you run an auction. Some big spender.
Now we have your Gus Hansen, Gerhard, in the West seat, playing with Bob Driver.
Here you go. Yeah, you just have to wait. They're all coming around.
Gus Hansen's team made this remarkable well in the teams tournament where they were fighting hard for the third place but ended up as number 4.
So we have a double here from West, which is not so perfectly, I think.
But that's Gus Hansen's system. He doubles every time he has an opener. They play Gus Hansen's system. He tells his partner what to play, what he likes to play, you know, and they just have to comply.
No, some modifications, Roland.
But he has some basic rules that he wants his partners to play. On board 14, some players were in 4 spades going down, losing 250. It was down 3 times. You would gain 30 if you made your 4 spades and lose 250 if you didn't. Absolutely amazing. Now take out double of 1 diamond first. Now a penalty double of 3 diamonds. Very, very unusual.
But looks like a good double.
It's a match point double really, isn't it? I mean, maybe he can take it 1 down, but you would never double at imps 3 diamonds, hoping to get 100 instead of 50.
Good shift by West. I feared that he would have played the king of hearts in trick 2.
And since North-South are vulnerable, it will be 200 instead of 100. But still a very dangerous double with this format. He probably thought partner was stronger than he actually is when he bid 2 diamonds to show both majors.
Peter had the same idea like you. I thought he might play the king of heart now. Some years ago I was offering Gus a bet in 4 different disciplines: backgammon, poker, golf and bridge. But he refused.
Yeah, king of hearts is not a good shift. Then the contract will make with an overtrick. And maybe he plays his partner for more than he has. On the other hand, give South an opener and a free 3 diamond bid. Surely he must have the ace of hearts. Although he could have ace king of clubs instead, I suppose. He doesn't know where the king of clubs is. There you go. Oh dear. +1 instead of -1. What a difference.
Here you can see the poker player.
Yes, but I think the problem was the 2 of hearts from East, that they don't totally agree about small or high cards are engaging.
That's a big move in the right direction for Manu and Di Franco.
Yes, this will cost Gus and Driver half a flat in Mayfair, London. Do you know the area, Gerhard? Mayfair in London? The flats
Of course.
are not cheap there, I promise you.
Actually, I had a flat in Ennismore Gardens, in Knightsbridge. You know this?
Oh yes, I do, yes. Now this would be a preempt in space for many pairs, but not so Gus Hansen. Many would open 3 spades. Some would open a weak 2 if they're very conservative, counting losers, 7 losers, well against not. But I don't think many would open 1 spade.
Would be my plan, open 2 spades. I hate his vulnerability. Red against white, wow, can be very, very expensive.
Well, I hope this is forcing. Or does Driver know about Gus's openings? 14 count, 2 no trumps. Well, if it's forcing, fine.
Well, sometimes it's better to have at least 1 diamond in your hand, or on your hand.
Yes. This looks makeable. He can get 1 diamond loser away on the King of Hearts.
Let's see, a spade loser, a heart loser, and 1 other diamond can go on the King of Hearts.
Maybe.
He's okay. Draw trumps and play the Queen of Hearts.
No way to go wrong here.
No, no. Doesn't matter what South does. If he goes up with the ace, then the King of Hearts will provide a discard. If he doesn't go up, then the Claro will have 2 diamond losers instead.
You should just claim, don't waste energy.
.420 is the last board of this segment, and there will be one more segment today with 16 boards.
Maybe they don't need money. We do have a Zimmermann Cup now coming up in February, the first time. A winter special event.
Yes, and he can afford it. Especially now when he don't have to pay his most expensive pair.
I'm sure he will find another.
Yes, there I agree with you.
Yes.
There are many people who can afford things, but not a lot are doing it. So I think it's very nice to be generous if you're rich.
Yes, but as Roland said before, Zimmermann have done a lot of good things for Brits. When he started his project with a Monaco team, many in Europe were against him, but he has shown that his money has been well spent for European Brits.
I'm still wondering why he never invited me for his team.
You want an answer, Gerhard?
Yes!
Yes. Now I'm asked, what is the price to lose 126 points for making 4 spades on board 16? I'll tell you why. Because 7 pairs sacrificed in 5 diamonds over 4 spades. And that went for 1100. So that's why you go minus for making your 4 spade contract. So a French pair here, Quentin and Lorenzini, against Italy and Turkey, Cementa and Tokay. This North-South pair would have been on the France Open team in Chennai, in the Bermuda Bowl, if they had been available, but they were not.
Now 11 pairs in 5 diamonds doubled, down 11 or 1400. But the bidding had probably gone 3 spades past 4 spades. And now it's very tempting for South to bid 5 diamonds.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's what we said, wasn't it? It was very unusual to open 1 spade with the West hand. Many would open 3, and they would have a different auction.
It's funny, from the top paid pair, none of them is under the first 10 in the moment. The best, I think, is Helgemo, Helnet, 13. And then Mammut, Bilde. Very surprising.
Yeah, but early days yet, Gerhard. They are going to play 100 qualifying boards altogether. And this is board 37, is it? I think so. Yeah. What a strange lead. What a strange lead. Why on earth would you lead the queen of clubs?
And Gerd, you're not absolutely right. We have the Polish pair, Boas Nakiewicz, who was sold for 25,000 as number 8.
Yes, you're right. I was only counting the first 5.
Yes, but they were sold as number 3.
Yes, I see now.
Same amount as Sia and Bilde.
Peter, you are a little bit like my wife. She also always has to be right. And she is, like you.
Yes, that's a mistake from me.
Probably an upgrade here to 2021, presumably. The Italian way, 3 hearts denying a 4-card major. Now 3 spades is a transfer to 3 no trumps.
Well, this costs nothing, this lead.
No, but this contract is only about over tricks, 9, 10, 11 tricks.
Can you briefly explain the advantage of 3 hearts as nothing in the majors? Well, I'm sorry, I can't. And I don't really know what they do if they have a 5-card major. Maybe they play 3 spades as 5 spades and 3 no trumps as 5 hearts.
Yes, I have seen that sort of thing in operation once or twice. but the advantage is not immediately apparent.
No. The same method used by Lauria Versace, that I know for sure. Not sure about Bocchi Madala, but I think they play the same actually. But there must be an upside. Why else would they choose that? So what about that 3-no trumps this morning, Mark? Did you analyze it? Could Declara have squeezed East, perhaps?
Right. So, well, I did analyse it, Roland. The way the play went, and it's quite easy not to notice this sort of thing. On the third round of clubs, East discarded a diamond. Now, if Declara had discarded a heart at that point, rather than a diamond, he could then have played 3 rounds of spades. The last of those would have found West hanging on to the master club, to King 1 heart and 2 diamonds. And so on that trick he would have been squeezed. He couldn't throw a heart because then the ace would fell the king. He couldn't throw a diamond because Declara still had the ace of diamonds in his hand, so would have cashed it and then cashed another diamond. So he had to throw a club, and then Declara would simply play ace of diamonds and a diamond and force West to lead away from the king of hearts. But of course Declara threw a diamond himself, and so that squeeze end play wouldn't operate. But in fact, and I think this is perhaps the most interesting point of the hand, you'll remember that Declara had a 5-2 club fit, and his first move, having won the opening diamond lead, was to play a club to the queen, and East won that with the king. Now, I believe that at this level of play, if East had, say, king to 3 clubs, or even king to 4 clubs, he would not have won the first club. He would have been very likely to duck. Now, if Declara can draw that inference from the play to trick 2, then he can always make 3-no trumps. It's difficult, but he can always make 3-no trumps. The secret is he must duck the second round of diamonds completely, discarding a club from dummy, which is obviously a hard play to make, but then he wins the next diamond and must play a heart, putting up the queen if West plays low, and then he simply plays a spade to the 10 and gets home with 9 tricks without too much trouble, because he takes 3 spades, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts and 2 clubs. So it's a great hand, I think, and you can read the analysis in tomorrow's bulletin.
Right, a very complex hand. On the other hand, when the queen holds the trick, Mark, I mean, it could be because you have king third onside. Why not?
Yes, it could. That's true. I mean, it is a very complex hand. I mean, you have to make a decision. But if the queen of clubs had held, my guess is that Declara would then have played a spade. You know, so if there's king to 3 clubs on side, there's no rush to do anything clever. You'd play a spade, let's say it loses to something, and they play back a diamond. Well, now you're inevitably going to play another club finesse. But you may not necessarily go down, because even if that finesse loses, well, actually, no, you will go down then because you have no entry to the dummy. So that's why I think it would just be normal play for Easter Duck. So you can't make any assumptions at this level, I think, if the Queen of Clubs holds. The finesse could still be offside.
Yes, we had the same situation the other day, more or less, in the teams. Do you remember? When most declarers were in 3-note trumps, with Jack X of diamonds opposite Ace Queen to 6 in the dummy with no side entry. So
yes, I remember that one. Yes. In fact, I wrote an article which appears in today's bulletin called Maverick, which features that hand, and Bash Lever was declarer in 3-note trumps. He came down to an ending where he needed to guess the diamonds just for 2 tricks, and South had very cleverly discarded the 9 of diamonds early in the game, and at trick 12, when Baz played a diamond towards the dummy, he followed with the 10, trying to look like a man who'd started with King 10-9. But the bidding was such that Baz was not fooled, and he went up with the ace, felling the singleton king, and the Queen of Diamonds was his 9th trick. I think that's the hand you're talking about, Roland.
Well, no, it can't be that, because South was dealt King 10 Doubleton in diamonds, so it went.
Okay,
Jack
different
low,
hand,
low,
same principle, yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah, it went Jack low 10 from Zia.
Ah, right. Okay, different hand. The 3-note trumps we were talking about earlier, making it was worth 139 imps, but going one down cost 189 imps. So, we were talking about the effect of the scoring earlier. You can see that when a game is a tough one, that you always get a good reward for making the game, and you also suffer a significant loss if you go down in a game you could have made.
Tell me, Mark, how many pairs will go for the A final, and will there be a carryover?
I think it's only 12, Peter. And yes, there is a carryover. It's not horrendously significant, but it's still worth having. And I think the key to being in the top 12 is that you're guaranteed to win a prize.
Only 12 pairs.
Yeah, I think it's only 12. Yes, from I'm speaking from memory of last year, but I think it's only 12.
When you look at our schedule page, you see that they're going to play 44 boards in the final on Friday. 44 boards, 12 pairs. Oh, that's four. Oh, I see. So they're going to play 4 against every other pair then. Then it makes sense.
That would certainly work, wouldn't it? 4 times 11 is 44.
Indeed. But then again, they have sessions of 14, 10, 10, 10. That's strange, if you play 4 against every other pair. I mean, you don't play 2.5 rounds, do you, before the break? Well, maybe they do. It adds up, if there are 12 pairs. And which other number would make this reasonable with 44 boards? 14, 10, 10, 10? Peter, come on.
Yes, I've just checked. The final last year was 12 par in A and 24 pairs in the B group.
All right, so it must be 11 times 4. Sorry, I couldn't find 3 hearts with that hand. 6 card suit, lots of losers. I agree. Favorable vulnerability, first seat. And East can probably make a game.
Well, it wouldn't have been ridiculous for West to bid 3 no trumps over 3 hearts, would it? Trouble is, he doesn't have a rapid source of tricks, but I mean, he's certainly got hearts well stocked.
No, I agree. 3 no is wide-ranging over 3 hearts. Fahmi and Jakub from Egypt. East did very well here to balance with 4 clubs. No problem in 5 clubs.
And I wouldn't on the West hand only have bid 5 clubs. I would have given a cue of some sort. If East really has the cards to bid 5 clubs, then 6 could be just round the corner.
Yes, that's a good point, Peter. I mean, even with this sort of pile of rubbish, give East, for example, the Queen of Diamonds in addition to the cards he holds, and you'll make 12 tricks as the cards lie. You might, of course, be unlucky to find that they can start with a heart to the ace and score a rough, but maybe you have 12 tricks in no trumps some of the time. Does seem strange that West didn't make any effort at all. But he didn't have first round heart control. Maybe he just didn't fancy bidding 4 hearts over 4 clubs.
So on to the last board of this segment. There will be one more today in roughly half an hour, quarter to the hour, 17:45 Central European time, and that segment will have 16 boards. One diamond, one heart, and a splinter bit. Buy, sells now, I presume. 4 clubs, maybe. Right, that shows heart support. It can't be 18-19 balance because they would open either 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, depending on whether they play the Pochi Madala way of doing it, 2 clubs, or the Lauria Versace, 2 diamonds to show 18-19 balance. So 2 no trumps is a heart race, strong heart race. And I believe 3 clubs asked for shortage, 4 clubs singleton club, 4 hearts, end. Not a lot to the play, as we see. Probably 11 tricks. I won't be back for the last segment, Peter, but I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, and as you know, I'm going to play in the student club tonight.
I know.
So I will leave also in my home in a very short time. It could sound a little bit strange that a player in my age are playing in the student club, but the student club has very few students left. It's I think the oldest bridge club in Denmark, founded about 900 and was it 28 or something like that, Roland?
1928, yes. 1928. All right. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye for now, and see you tomorrow. Good luck tonight, Peter.
Thank you.